Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Paul Brown Show. This evening, my guest will be Miss Sheila Laury. She's the founder of Fill My Cup Literacy Program. How you doing there, Ms. Laury?
I'm great, Paul. I hope you are.
Outstanding. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you very much. Good to be back.
Tell the audience a little bit about Sheila Laury.
Well, let's see. Sheila, I was originally born in New Jersey, transplanted to South Carolina with my family. Went to high school and college in Columbia, South Carolina. And
Let's give a shout out.
all righty, to Benedict College.
Benedict College, both us alumni, Benedict College.
That's a great
Yes,
thing.
ma'am.
That's a great thing. Go BC Tigers.
Correct.
And so then I transferred to Charlotte as a result of a job transfer at that particular time with the corporation I worked for. And so that's been about 22 years ago have passed, which is just amazing. I've been here in Charlotte, so that's hopefully good news. You know, we're happy about it. But then I took a stop out from work at a given time about maybe 11 years ago, and really became aware of how huge the adult literacy problem is, meaning adults that do not have a functional level of literacy, able to read at least, say, 8th grade reading level or above. And when we talk about functional literacy, that's as far as being able to conduct your own business in a successful way, even simple tasks as far as maybe understanding your mail, reading the newspaper, these kind of things that you need to be able to do to help your household. Advocating for your children in school, being able to help them with their homework, you know, those kind of things when we talk about functional literacy. So out of that awareness, and then it became a passion for me to try to help people, maybe, you know, one by one.
Correct.
And then had the opportunity to make it a little broader and bring some other volunteers that had like passions alongside me, and to start a not-for-profit agency, Fill My Cup.
So what would you consider to be the mission of Fill My Cup?
The mission of Fill My Cup, Paul, is to help people reach their full potential, which we believe is, you know, their God-given potential, who they're created to be as far as in life. You know, what are the great thing that they are to accomplish as an individual by providing simple tools through literacy, by helping them to improve their reading or learning to read, or prepare for the GED in order to obtain their general educational development diploma in the form of the GED.
I know the age group you just said that you basically monitor is really 18?
Age 16 and above.
16 and
Yes.
above.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it so important that an individual go back and get that GED education?
Well, there's several reasons, but really today the corporate businesses, the employers, you know, of America, they really kind of determine they let the education system know what skills they need, what type of employees they want and that they need to make their businesses successful, no matter what the industry. And so the school systems, you know, the colleges, they receive that information and in turn pretty much create their curriculums based on that in order to produce people that have those requirements, be it in technology, the medical field, or whatever. So really, again, corporations, the business environment is what drives what our educational systems teach. So if a person has not completed their basic skills, adult basic skills, or ABE as we refer to them as, then they haven't even met, if you will, the requirements for most entry-level jobs. Even now at fast food restaurants, you have to have a high school diploma or equivalent in the form of a GED in order to apply at most fast food restaurants.
Why is pride so important as far as for individuals not wanting to return back to get their education, especially at an older age?
Well, I think many times over the years, and maybe in each of our households or our family circles or neighbors or people we've known over the years, there was most likely someone that had a reading concern, either could not read or read at a very basic level, but it was been a very private issue, which is understandable, and there weren't many resources. People didn't talk about it. You know, there's a lot of social issues in America that when people start talking about them, that it's okay to talk about them, then you start finding out more people have that concern or have that issue. And that seems to, again, how it has been with the illiteracy problem in America, as well as in our state and in our city.
I noticed that, especially when individuals apply for employment, when they put down education level, some people have a tendency of placing, I graduated from high school. Are the companies checking this information? I mean, because a lot of people, they don't graduate, but they still put that on their
I think many times they do check. I mean, I would say in most cases, they most likely check. And many times, like with many things, that if you put a false answer, the truth might not come out right then, but the truth will come out sooner than later, and then you've got yourself, to me, in a worse situation, because then it has become an integrity issue.
I guess the reason why I stated that is the fact that I think a lot of companies probably figure that a high school education is kind of like when you start dealing with the college, then they may look into that. But as far as high school, they probably consider that to be, this a basic type thing right there.
Well, I think too, right now, in recent times, because of the job climate.
Correct.
Where there were so many more people looking for jobs and so many people for the employers to choose from, that when they did boil it down to a certain set of people they want to interview and move forward or maybe select as a candidate for that position, then they do want to make sure that that person does have the credentials they stated that's required by the job.
What's the steps as far as someone coming to your program from off the streets? How would they what would be the formats?
Okay, well, what we would like for them to do, of course, is call us, contact us, or which is 704-605-4366. And I like to talk with people individually just for a few minutes, just to see really what their needs are, and to make sure it's a good fit for what we do and that we're a good fit for what they need. And in that, they would contact us. We would let them know when the next registration is, and then we would move forward from there during an orientation process, in which time we would give them more information about how to become a successful student, within our program, or just to help them as they move forward, even to the community college or college level. And then also after that, we will give them, or during that time of the orientation, we would give them a placement test, a standardized placement, adult literacy test, or adult education test, to determine where we would need to begin working with them, or what do they need to work on in order to move to the next step, to work towards their GED. Or if they're learning to read, in that case, what we need to do to help them, start there and work from wherever they are, because the key thing is that we want to meet people where they are and work from there. Now, right now as well, we're focusing on working with the residents in the Greer Heights community here in Charlotte. So right now, we've just recently had conducted a registration, and we'll be doing our orientation with them very soon, within the next week or so.
That's exciting.
It is.
When you see an individual come into your program wanting to further their education as far as GED, how does that make you feel?
Oh, I'm excited because as I share with a lot of the people that come through our program, particularly when I get the opportunity to speak with the younger people, I tell them I want to see you successful. I want to pour out of myself, the volunteers we have working with us, to try to help make you successful. Because, as I, grow in grace,
correct,
I want them to be able to handle business in our community, for our communities. So I'm very vested and very encouraged and highly motivated to help them be the best they can be.
Are you receiving the support that you need from the community to make your Fill My Cup successful?
No, we are not. It's been a challenge, but we're here to stay. We know that, as far as our organization is needed in the community. We're one of few, very few, others have struggled and we're still standing, but we need help to help enlarge our capacity. I get numerous phone calls of people needing help. We want to be in other communities in addition to the Greer Heights community and other communities. Other community leaders have contacted us, but we need funding. We need people that have resources. If they have buildings we can use to operate out of, help us with funding so we can get additional instructional staff so that we can help more better and in a larger manner meet the needs of the community, because the problem is not going away.
So basically, you just need a lot of help as far as to continue the success of your program.
Yes, we do. Yes, I do.
So audience, understand that, Ms. Laury, what she's doing is, is awesome. She's trying to help someone with their life as far as education-wise, and let's get back and get with her and help her out. Ms. Laury, basically, what is GED? What is that?
The GED? The GED is a General Education Development Diploma, meaning it's the equivalent, according to employers, as far as what they accept, to the high school diploma. It's for people that have not obtained a public high school diploma. And they get to take what consists of 5 tests: language arts reading, language arts writing, science, social studies, and math. And once a person successfully masters and passes those tests, the final GED test, then they would be given a diploma, a GED diploma from the North Carolina Community College system.
So do you provide the testing, or do you prepare them for the testing?
We prepare for the testing. As I had mentioned, during that orientation process, when we do placement testing,
Correct.
we determine who is on, for example, an adult literacy level, who's able and needs to work at the pre-GED level, and then we would determine what additional skills they need in order to be successful for taking the final GED test, meaning we also can give them the official practice test. If a person is, say, 9th grade reading level or above, then they're a candidate to take the official practice test. At that time, we're able to see, of the 5 test subject areas that I mentioned, we would determine where they need additional work. And then we would help them, with that as well.
When an individual comes into your office and explains to you that they want to start to get their GED, what are some of the reasons why they stated that they dropped out of school?
That's a real interesting question, and the answer to that, because I've asked that same
Correct.
question over the years many times, I really like to know, because I think it's important for people to just for a moment reflect on what did stop them, because that way, not to dwell on it, but just for a moment to be able to say, well, this is what stopped me, so that then I'm able to move forward.
Correct.
So I can overcome that hurdle and know, how to go around that wall, before. But people stop for different reasons. I mean, even, generations ago and even current times, believe it or not, people are stopping. Young people stop because they have to help the family with income, depending on maybe in a poverty type situation, a very low income situation. I dropped out of school because I got to, help my mama, A young man might stop, and it might be a simple job that he gets. It could be raking leaves or whatever, but needs to help put food on the table, that kind of thing as well. Some people have stopped because they were kind of pushed into a corner, in the educational system, as far as labeled, maybe, with, learning situations or maybe they learned differently.
Correct.
It's not that they could have necessarily had a learning disability, but they were labeled. So it is important for people to try to overcome that, but also maybe just find out what did happen. How did you get derailed is how I like to look at it. So that, as a train going down the track, we can kind of help set the cars, back on the track and just try to help them move forward.
When you have a individual at an age like 16, but reading at a level of 6th grade, or what does that say about the prior teachers?
Well,
I mean, 'cause
just
it